Alright, today I wanted to do my card show recap, and one of the local card shops, LCS, was putting on this card show at the Armory building. It's been a long time since I've been in that Armory. I don't remember a last time I had been in there, but I do recall back in around 2000 I saw Green Day, and I met up with eventually with Chris Cards of YouTube, so check out his channel if you haven't. Just easy to find, Chris Cards. I'll try to leave the link in the description to his channel, but I'm sometimes unreliable about that one there. So anyway, I went to town. This was in the capital of Salem, Oregon right here, and I just looked up that picture since the last video. And I said, you know what, I'm not familiar with card shows. When do people really get there? And having experienced, so few of them and hearing stories about, lines miles long. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to go to Salem, and the Goodwill Bins is down the street. So I went there, picked up a few things, and I'll show those very quickly there. Actually went there on the way back and found some baseball cards there. I don't have those to show in this particular video here. That might be for another one. But there was a box set of the classic baseball. It was like the 90, I don't know, 4 or I don't think Jeter was in there. I don't remember what year that was, but one of those 90s minor league sets. I have a bunch of them. So it was spilled all over, and it looked like the top edge was kind of dirty on the card, so I just grabbed a small stack after I had waited a while. One guy was looking at them all, and then he put them all back. But the first trip around, nothing special, just little unusual pieces of stationery that I could use to write letters on. This one says Bauhaus, 1923. Again, I just like to use unusual pieces of stationery for different celebrities and baseball players or whoever I'm writing to. So there's just some cards there. And then I found these two cards. Oh yeah, here's a photograph of some sort of fountain. I don't know what that is, so I'll do something. And then vinyl stickers, keep calm and swim faster. Isn't that the truth? And then I found these two cards in the bin, and they're more or less okay, but there's Droid Escape and Leaving for the Fight. Some sort of Rogue One trading cards, which I didn't have. I collect a little bit of Star Wars, but not a lot. But anyway, there are those, and they cost like a penny a piece or something crazy. So I did find cards technically there. And then I left there, and I got to the show about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes early, and I didn't know exactly where to park because sometimes they have it blocked off or different type of things there, and didn't have to pay for parking, didn't have to pay for anything to get into the show. If they have the show longer and further, that might change, but nothing to get into the show. I parked where most of the vendors were parking, and I just stayed there, and no problem, no harm, no foul, no nothing, so that worked out great. And as I said, about a half an hour, and I was like the first one. I'll say the first one, but the first or second one there is like, oh my gosh, this can't be good. No one's lining up. But, about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, but 10 minutes to 5 minutes before, it just got super packed. And man, when you got in there, I took a sneak peek because I went to use the restroom and I walked through the venue and came back out and I said, oh, I sure hope there's some cards. Because it was really nerve-wracking seeing kinds of crafted stuff, and then lots and lots of Pokemon stuff. Like, oh, I hope there's some. But, the dealers were taking their sweet time setting up, and some of them were not 100% set up, but they were pretty close by the time we got in there. And so I went in there all by myself and looked around, and eventually I found cards. And I cannot remember exact first card there was that I had grabbed. Actually, I do remember that. Hopefully I have it here. I tried to, if I missed anything in this particular video, what I'm going to do is show that to you in the next one. But I picked up one autograph card here, and really very ridiculous autograph. It looks like he pressed really hard with the pin on here, but this is a Topps Stadium Club rookie card of James Outman. And again, I'm a fan of James Outman, but I'm not exactly sure what. I need to figure out what he's doing on the Dodgers these days. But that was $6 for that, so it was okay. I don't know what a James Outman autograph on Stadium Club goes for. Can't be a whole lot. But again, he's on a decent team. At least I think if we still have him. Again, excuse me. So that was the first card, and I told the person first card of the day. If you hadn't noticed from my previous other videos, I have told people in the past that 25 years ago I went to a card show approximately, and so this is the first show since then. There were something like 60 tables. It was either 60 tables or 60 dealers, and I heard several people said it was $80 for a table. So it's not terrible if you want to get rid of stuff, and they're probably going to have more of these things. I do remember. I said I hadn't been in the Armory for a long time, but they used to have swap meets in the Armory. So that's what they used to have, swap meets in the Armory, and those were really good ones, because as small as a show it was, I was always finding cool stuff and affordable stuff. So I miss those shows. This is one of these not very high prosperous areas. So again, I'm not exactly sure where everybody, I think there was a dealer that came from Washington. This might have been the second or third card I got. And this is Sasaki. Oops, I thought there was something on the card. It's actually part of the design here. This is Sasaki's Strikeout Showroom. So there is that card there. Rookie card, Bowman Chrome. That was $1. Again, I don't know what, it's not his base card. And some of these cards, collectors don't really care for these kind of insert cards here, but it's fun for people who just like to collect players or whatever. So the first two cards I got were Dodgers, and a whopping like $7 was spent on those two, and that was like, oh my gosh, my money gonna go disappearing very crazy. Then I think the third card I bought, and there was almost zero vintage, and if there was any, it was up there. And there were cards that I saw and Chris Card saw that were $10 that were probably worth $5, and we saw lots of dollar cards out there. There was dollar energy for Pokemon that were used. That was $1. There was even a crazy, and I didn't get a picture of it. I wished I had done so. And everybody was marveling. Even the dealer was marveling at this Pokemon card. It was like a second series or series 2 or whatever you want to call it. Pokemon energy card, and he offered it to me for $5, and it was graded. So I was like, nah, it was a 6.5. It's like, as funny as it is, why would somebody grade their energy unless they used it in a tournament or something? But this is the true vintage card that I got here, Wally Moon, for $2. I had to take that one because I'm not 100% sure I have that, and if I do, it's a better copy for 63 tops there. So that's about what it's probably going for. I only looked up a few things. There were some deals, and there were some cards that were right on eBay COMC, and other cards were just too much. I picked this up shortly after from a vendor that I've dealt with before. A lot of these card vendors set up at a local swap meet down the road, and so I knew who they were, and they were happy to deal with me. This is Han Solo and Chewbacca. It was $1. I don't remember if this was Topps or OPG. It's a Topps version. It's not particularly mint, but you know what? I will take a card from Star Wars I don't have for $1, especially if there's nothing to look at. So I had to take that one. Now let's start getting into some other stuff here. I got some packs, and I want to thank Jeff for selling me and Chris a bunch of packs for $1 a piece. I didn't want a lot of stuff that I didn't know what to do with. So I should have bought all the ones he had, all of them. That way I could have probably built another Series 2 Topps Stadium Clump from 1994. And then I could have looked for, other things like, the the opening day or the first day issue in there, and some of the other inserts. Again, I don't remember what was in Series 2. It's been so long, and I don't remember if I completed Series 2, but I got very close to that. There's a lot of series. Was there 2 or 3 or 4 series to this set? I don't remember. But $1 a pack, and again, I should have wiped them all out. And so that's fun stuff. That'll be opened on another video one of these days, maybe. Or I might just open them off camera and just show you what I got as the hits. And again, I don't do a lot of autographing of that set because I hate losing my cards. So that might give me an opportunity to do that. Then I just said, there's not a lot of sports cards around here. So I said I might as well look at some of the Pokemon. And right next to the guy I just bought the packs from, there were some Pokemon cards that were slabbed. And he said 3 for $25 or $10 each. And he sold a few cards out of there, but there was a lot of stuff that wasn't selling, but there was a lot of stuff that was selling. So there was some AI-generated slabs or some graded slabs, which I thought about grabbing. Again, slabs are on very people's low list these days, but I got 3 of them just to kind of display or play around with here. And I think this is the first one I have. Shout out to Dylan of Double D Vintage Cards. And this is Surfer. This is the 2024 Pokemon SSP, SSEN, I forget what that was, Surfer Ultra Rare, now if that label is correct there. And this is a Mint 9, and that was $10 for that one, but I got on a deal, so it was probably closer to, I don't know, 9 or 8 or something like that, whatever 3 out of 25 works into. So there's that one there, and there's the back of it there. We were just trying to figure out what makes a card an 8 versus a 9 or a 10, and probably nothing. They just have to vary the numbers every once in a while. Then I got another PSA card here. Again, probably shouldn't have done that, and these cards I looked up, you know, they're between $5 and $7 a piece, ungraded, outside of, you know, whatever. So, you know, you buy a raw card and it's going to be the same grade or worse than what I've got. So there's no point in, you know, sometimes, you know, if you get slabs cheap enough. And this is 2025 Pokemon, NS Zorua. I don't know exactly, but this is a Japanese version card here. I had to grab that one there. Oh, I say had to, but this is an 8. There's technically a trainer, I guess, right there. So I don't know if this is the character or trainer. I'm just still learning about Pokemon. And then I grabbed this one here. This is a CGC, and I wanted to see what this is. I want to say the PSA slabs are some of the cheesiest. The SG or the CGC slabs are a little bit better, but yeah, these are the chintziest slabs of most of them out there. And then this one is an 8.5. This is, oh man, it's a hard name to pronounce, but there were other cards that kind of interest me a little bit more, but I don't know, I just wanted some with human characters on it, if that makes sense. And there was just not a lot of fire in that box there, so, oh, whatever. But it cost somebody more than $10. Somebody said if they get on a bulk deal, 17 is about as cheap as possible. So, yeah, that was a good deal for me. I could have loaded up, but what do I really want to do, you know? I don't know. I just like them because you can display them. I'm not liking them for numbers or anything. The numbers are only secondary to me, because I don't know anything about that. Now let's get into the other stuff that I got, and this should be pretty much it. And, you know, I don't have a lot of stories to share. I mean, again, Chris Cards was the only person that I knew, aside from some dealers. And there's one guy that's a Goodwill bin shopper, and he also had a table there, and he was very professional and had a nice setup there. And there were some tables you just couldn't get to. There was a guy that was selling Magic and some other stuff, and I couldn't get to that table. In fact, I bought one Magic card at the very end of the show. I paid $0.25 for that, gave him a 50-cent piece, and he was like super over the moon. I don't know why I grabbed Spinal Embrace foil card there, but that was 25 cents, so whatever. It's in like a cheap little holder there, but I don't know. I just thought that was weird and it just reminded me of something, so that is all about that one there. So I just did that, and he was tickled that I bought something. I mean, but that was one of the tables I couldn't get to. There were just some tables that and there were other tables that are fairly easy to get. It's confusing. Anyway, this one here, I already looked it up on COMC. It's like something ridiculous, like $3.33 on COMC. So the $3, but the Philly guys will be happy I grabbed Mark Appel. I don't know if they'd be happy, but, you know, where can I get really, you know, without having to pay any shipping on it? This Topps Black or something, encased or whatever. Don't know exactly what that came from or where it is, but, or if Mark Appel is even still pitching or what he's doing. I think he's a free agent or something. I don't know. That name, just an ancient name from way back in the day. I don't know why this is from 2023 or something like that. I have no idea. I just, you know, modern cards just baffle me to no end. But anyway, I just said, you know, that's kind of cool. I'll get it for $3. My LCS wouldn't have that for $3. That's for darn sure. Then I grabbed this Dalton Varsho here. Again, I don't know what people are doing anymore, but this is numbered to 150. You know, if I call it cracked ice, then somebody's like, oh no, that's, you know, the cognac, or that's the, you know, this or that, or whatever it is. No idea. It was $2 for that one. It's like number 38 out of 150. So I said, you know what, grab it. That box is actually pretty good. But, you know, again, a lot of these things were comping out at probably those things, so there was not a lot of deals there. Then we'll finish off with those. And then, I say finish off, but we'll get those done. Then this is another one. This is Eli Morgan. And this is numbered to 99, which, you know, means nothing anymore. But we were grabbing on-card autographs, and it was shiny, and said, you know what, I'll grab it. And they assured me that he was a current, you know, MLB, or that doesn't mean anything, but you know, I mean, it means something, but not necessarily in value. Then I picked up one football card. This says red level. I paid $3 for that, and it was too much, but I just was helping somebody out, so I paid this. Mike Haas, Oregon State Beavers, and that's all I know about him. But it's a red level, a Sage. Again, these guys, you know, were good in college maybe, but didn't do anything. This is numbered to 35 out of 940 or something crazy like that. It looks like 1940, but it's 35/940. So there's that one there. And then I hit the value box. There was only really one value box. I know Hitman 23 is going through currently his 10-cent box. Finds at his show. He did almost like a whole hour. He did 45 minutes of video or something like that. Haven't finished that one. I got two WNBA cards. Angel Reese rookie card. I think that was $3. Again, what rookie card it is, what version it is, how graded is it, gradable is it, and all that fun stuff there. No idea, but I just picked that one up. And then, you know, it's not a hot card right now. And then I got Kiki Irafian or something. I don't know. I just thought it was shiny. He said you could have that for $1, so I said okay, fine. So, and it's a Bowman U. I don't think it's from the Bowman U that I was collecting, but again, these cards are so fast, and they're here and then gone. And I saw lots of cards I hadn't seen, so we'll finish off with the value box cards. And Chris and I were, you know, kind of after a lot of the same types of cards. Not necessarily, you know, a lot, but there was a lot of interesting stuff that I just don't see very often. So this is a Javier Baez card here of him, you know, George breading up his bat there. So there's that one there. Stadium Club always has some amazing stuff there. I was supposed to get that for my Sky PC, but oh well, you know. But you know, my Sky PC is going to be just vintage cards. I will go through and see. I don't know why I grabbed these old Boston Mookie Betts cards. They don't have any value. They're the kind that they just do like a little mini subset or whatever, and collectors are just irritated. They just fan through all the insert cards there, and then they just go to the relics and the hits. I did see a relic for 50 cents, but it was Panini, and I just said gross. This one here is kind of stuck in the penny sleeve here. Hopefully it's not damaged or anything. This one's really stuck in here. Oh, wow. Oh, there was, I think, some moisture or something had gotten to this. Oh my gosh. Oh, and it's not really only moisture, but the penny sleeve was wrinkled on here. Okay, good, phew. But yeah, there's some kind of moisture damage to the card there, so hopefully I can wipe that down there. But I don't know if I had that for my first pitch for 2015, so I grabbed that one. I have that one. Again, these were a quarter a piece for the value box cards. There's another Mookie or Mookie or Moki. And then we have Christian Yelich, not a special super outstanding card by any means here, but I don't have a lot of Series 1 cards. I figured for a quarter, you know, it's not worth that probably, but then I got Madison Bumgarner or Mad Bum, and then again, I needed that one for my 15, but again, building this 15 set at 25 cents a card is basically overpaying by a lot. Again, there was a lot of cards there that were worth the 25 cents. There was a lot of cards that weren't worth 25 cents. And there was, again, a lot of cards like those Pokemon Energy cards and numerous other ones that were just, you know, when people had Pokemon cards for dirt cheap on a lot of their tables, the base cards, because nobody seems to want those, and they usually give those away to kids, and I couldn't get to any of that. There was no way. It was just too massively crazy. I did get some, so Shane of Shoebox Legends and Poor Man's Stack will be happy I picked up a Larvell Blanks with that Blanks stare, and Topps Original Buyback there. That was a quarter. I think I won't spoil that. And again, another card here that's got a wrinkled penny sleeve there. So some crazy kind of environmental moisture damage stuck to that. Very strange. And then so if we can peel this out of here. Yeah, and this one is not so bad as the other one, but I need to wipe this down here. I don't know why those are that way. Then I got Stan Musial playing snooker or poker or something, or pool, I mean. Not snooker, but pool, so I didn't know he was a pool shark there. Haha. And then there's that one there. And then we have Raisel Iglesias. Hopefully he's still signing, but it's some sort of parallel there. I don't know what the 2025 parallel is at. or is that 20? Yeah, it's 25. I don't know what that parallel is, but we'll see. And then I was told to get this one here, Billy Wagner. So I thought that was a nice card looking upper deck card there. So very nice there. Then we have Barry Larkin walking his dogs there. Again, that was 25 cents. I don't know too many people would pay that for it, but. And then we have Matsaka Yoshida. Don't know why, but it's a Trophy Cup card that I didn't have for this set here. Again, I cannot be building this set one card at a time. There's just no way. And then we got a Curtis Granderson. And again, I think this is a Series 1 card number 4. Hopefully I don't have it. Again, and I think I was supposed to pick this up for TTM. I'm not sure. I think that's what I was supposed to do. And then we got Tom Willis. Again, another one here that's all wrinkled up and all stuck to the penny sleeve here. So what is going on with these cards here? That just peels right off. And the penny sleeves have got to go. They just look terrible. Kind of like the braining. And this one, unfortunately, has a squashed corner there. So that's not good. And it's also got a very dull surface there. So I don't think this guy signs. I don't know, the guy that can pitch with his foot there. Don't know. So there's that one there. We're almost done here. And I'm almost out of time here. But we got a Rafael Devers with some sort of interesting ring camera thing there or whatever. Then we've got Wayne Simpson, original buyback. We got a Duke Snider, and that's not for the Heritage that I'm working on. It's some other weird set there. I don't know what that is. A Mike Schmidt, because I don't know why I grabbed it. And we got Larry Wolf. I have that card, but I don't have the original buyback. So we'll do some homework on that one. That's the video for today. I'll throw in some other graphics maybe. That is all I got. It's not a great, thing, but I at least came back with lots of money, and I will open up these packs on camera in the next video or two, and thank you for watching.